Good day, and welcome to another episode of An Old Lady Fumbles Her Way Through Minecraft Pocket Edition. Today we have a couple of things to do. First, I'm standing over here at the light industrial area, mostly to show you that the sheep farm has been completed. We now have all 16 colors of wool being produced. So now what we're going to need is storage. But before we get stuck into that, there's a few cosmetic things I'd like to do around the farm. So let's get a move on. Okay. First things first, I want to pull a few more lights over here. Then get inside and sleep through this rain, because I'm tired of the rain. So up we go. I love my bubble elevators. Alright, sleepy time. Now, the first thing I want to do, as you can see, I now have a Silk Touch pickaxe, which I got from trading with one of my villagers. And I want to go down to where our geode is. I'm going to get some of these crystals. If you harvest these things with Silk Touch, you get the whole crystal, not just shards. And I want these for a very specific task, so let's grab a few crystals. We'll harvest all that we can. I really should turn this into a proper farm, but maybe another day. Once we've got all the crystals, let's head back. So up we go. I swear I'm going to have bubble elevators everywhere in this place. I love them so much. So now that we have our crystals, let's head over to our nether portal. These are going to be the finishing touches on our geode nether portal. Once we add them in, it will hopefully look much more like a natural geode protruding from the side of the hill. So let's add some stuff. Yeah, a few here, a few on the other side. Basically, we just want this to make it look like it naturally generated in the hill. I may still have to do some cleanup work on this, but I think with the crystals it'll really start to come together. So, place a few here, place a few there. Yeah, let's take a look at it from a little distance and see what we can see. Yes, I like that much better. So, that side's looking pretty good. Let's take a look at the other side. It's looking pretty good. I like it. Alright, let's head back home, pick up a few things that we're going to need, and move on to our next project. So this is where the storage area is going to be. I've terraformed this out, but before we do that, there's a little thing I want to take care of over by a little mountaintop enchanting setup. And that's this dirt mound that it is sitting on. I don't like it. I want it to look like we carved this out of the mountain down to stone. So we're going to replace all this dirt with smooth stone, or with regular stone, I should say. Now that we have our Silk Touch pickaxe, we can get this stuff by the bucket load, and we don't have to waste fuel trying to produce it by smelting cobble. And we'll just go around and replace all of this dirt. You notice I've left a little doorway in that area because we're going to be building our main headquarters up on the peak behind this enchanting setup, and a staircase down so that we can get in from there. And once we've got this enclosed the way I want it, I'll start hollowing out the inside in a more methodical manner so that we can start building underground as well. And yes, we'll probably have a bubble elevator in there because we're going to hollow this down to sea level at least. So I think this will look much better with stone. Yep. There's still a few areas I need to fill in, but it's night. Let's take a look from up here. Yes, much better. There's still a few areas to fill in, but we'll get to it. Now, let's get on to our next task. After a good night's sleep, it's time to start on our storage facility. We're going to be building a nice automatic storage system that will enable us to store our bulk items, mostly building blocks. So as you can see, I've started the floor with birch, and this is going to be very similar to the floor in the enchanting area in that it's going to be stripped birch with the occasional plank added in and a shroom light to add ambient lighting. But instead of being all birch, oh, for heck's sake, why can't I place things correctly? Instead of being all birch, like the enchanting area, it's going to be birch, oak, and spruce, and then outlined with unstripped oak. And if this design looks a little familiar to you, it is very similar to the design used by Pixel Riffs in his Minecraft Survival series, which I highly recommend you take out. The survival guide is awesome. It's Java, so not all of his machinery will work for folks like me who are playing on Pocket Edition, which is Bedrock, but he has some really good ideas, and I liked his storage setup, so I'm modifying it to my own use here. And once we've got all our logs placed, we'll start stripping and occasionally adding in some planks for some texture and variety. I do love these floors. So I'll come back when the floor is done. Okay, our floor is done, and we've laid down the foundation where our chests are gonna go. But before I do anything, I need to take care of these stupid drowned. Where are you? Where'd you go? There you are. Now, a lot of people will use item frames on their chests to show what's in there. But item frames, if you have a lot of them, can cause lag, and I really hate lag. I already have enough problems playing this on my phone. So what I do is I lay down a foundation underneath the chests of the actual item that will be stored in the chest. Now let's set up our items. We need some chests, we need some hoppers, redstone torches, some comparators, building blocks of any type, glass, target blocks, redstone. These are the basic components for our storage system. As you can see, we have our logs laid out. I'm going to put some scaffolding down. And then we're going to put down our chests. Now for my design, I'm just using 3 chests per item. You can go, well, as high as you want to, really. Depends on how tall you want your building and how many of each item you think you're going to have. And then behind each chest, you're going to put a hopper leading into those chests. Remember to crouch when placing. Then on top of your top chest, put down a temporary block, and then put a hopper feeding into that temporary block. Then remove the temporary block. That top filter, or that top hopper, is going to be your filter hopper. Now behind the second to the top hopper, place a block. Then you're going to put a comparator on that block going in to the hopper. Careful. Oh. Need to build over a little. There we go. And there's your comparator. That's going to read what's in the hopper. So now you're going to need some building blocks and some glass and your target block. That's a temporary block you're placing behind there. Then another block on top. And then behind the temporary block, going to put a block of glass. Then you're going to put another block underneath the glass, which is also temporary. Then in that little notch, you'll place your target block. And on the side of the target block, place a redstone torch. Then on that temporary block, underneath the glass, you'll put one to the right and one underneath. Now all you need to do is remove your 2 temporary blocks. So grab a pickaxe and remove them. And then you're gonna, there we go. And then you're gonna place some redstone once you've removed that block and that block. Okay? Pick up your blocks. Grab your redstone. Place down a redstone there, and one on top of the glass block. This is your basic circuit for your automatic storage system. Now all you need to do is set up your filter. The thing about a filter is you're going to need 4 singular items and then a stack of whatever you want going through that particular filter. In this case, we're starting with birch. Your 4 singular items need to be something that will not go through the system. So place your stack in the first space and then place your singular blocks in the other 4 spaces. And then you wait until the stack that you placed in there drains down to 41. 23 will go into the chests below. Now, what's in there needs to stay in there. And I need to kill yet another drowned. Oy vey. Come on. The 4 singular items are pieces of netherrack that I have renamed, and I've renamed them filter junk. That way you don't run the risk of accidentally throwing something into the system that will add to those singular items. Because if you do that, it will break the system and you'll have to start from scratch again. So now everything's set up and all I need to do is extend the whole system for every stack of items that I am going to sort. So this is modular, so you can put them side by side and run the system all the way down in a row. But first, I have yet another drown to kill. They are just active today. Yes, impale yourself on my cacti. Come on. Come on. Now, this original system was developed by Impulse SV about, let's say, a decade ago. And it works beautifully on Java, but it can break on Bedrock. So Silent Whisperer did a modification using target blocks, which is what I'm using here. So go ahead and grab back your stuff and go ahead and extend everything down for the items that you're going to sort. In this case, we're doing all 7 types of wood. The wonderful thing about this is it's constantly expandable. We're just doing these first 7 types of wood, and then eventually we'll add in the nether woods, and then we'll start adding in various types of stone. But the wonderful thing is you can add as you like, and every time you add, as long as you're careful about it, you shouldn't have any problems. Day is dawned, and it's time to put in the final piece of our system. We need to grab some dirt for temporary blocks. What we're going to be putting in is the hopper line that will carry items through the system to be sorted. So, everything else is built out. All our filter items are in, and we are ready to go. At the very end, well, see, everything is in place. Double check that all the filters are filled properly. Check that there should be 23 items in each chest to begin with. And now we can add in our hopper line. So, I'm going to put a temporary block at the end of our filter hoppers. Then go up there however you want to get up there. I use scaffolding. And place a chest on top of that temporary block. This is your output chest. It's going to collect everything that goes to the system that cannot be filtered. And you can use a double chest. I'm just using a single chest to start with. Then go up on this side. And pause to eat. And grab your hoppers. You want a line of hoppers going into that output chest. All the way to the end. And once you've reached the end, there you go. Put one more and put a chest on top of that. And again, you can use a double chest if you want. This is your input to the system. Basically, what you'll be doing is when you want to filter... let me get the scaffolding. Come on. Come on. Get the scaffolding. Thank you. When you want to filter items, you'll drop stuff into that chest. It'll run down that hopper line, and anything that a filter is not set for will end up in the output chest. Filtered items will end up in your chests at the bottom. So, let's put away our dirt. Let's grab a bunch of wood. We've got logs, we've got planks, we've got stripped logs. And I'll show you how the system works. So right now we're only set up for logs, not stripped logs, not planks, not anything else. And I'll show you that the system will kick out anything that we don't have a filter set for. Let's go up here and drop all of this stuff in the chest. And notice immediately stuff starts going through the system. You can see it dropping down. And we've put everything in. Now stuff is sliding through the system. If you check the output chest, notice the stripped logs came out the other end because we don't have filters set for stripped logs, just for the raw logs. And you can check your chest and watch the stuff go down. You can check your chest down here and watch items start filling in where they're supposed to go. Large amounts of spruce, less acacia, got some jungle in there. Dark oak is coming in. And of course, the mangrove. And the chest is empty. So let's go to our output chest. And you notice anything that isn't a raw log got kicked to the output chest, which is the way we want it. So you could throw a whole variety of items into that input chest, but the only thing that will come out right now is the stuff the filters are set for, and that is only the 7 types of wood. Now, you know me, I really like dark oak. So I'm going to use dark oak, stripped dark oak actually, as a frame for the inside of the build, and maybe for the outside as well. And I don't like that there, so let's take that down. We want it down one more. Why does it always start raining when I try to do this? It rains a lot here. And I have the worst trouble placing scaffolding sometimes. Alright, up we go. Take this down one. Get rid of the scaffolding. Come on. We'll place this one lower. You know it's going to cover that top row of chests, but if you stand right underneath that, you can still hit that upper row of chests just fine. So let's strip it. Yes, I like that. Strip the outside and go back up, because basically what I'm doing is I'm creating a shelf where I can place some barrels. The reason being, if you try to store everything, you're going to end up with a storage that's the size of a mountain, basically, which I don't really want to do. So for stripped logs, for planks and slabs, for fences, doors, trapdoors, buttons, anything made of wood, I'm going to put in barrels above where the raw components are stored. So basically when you make something out of the wood you've got stored, just make enough that you need, and if you have any left over, you can put them in these barrels up here so you have a ready supply. But you don't have to sit there and create a filter for every different type of component that can be made out of wood. That would take forever, and I really have better things to do. So, for instance, here we'll put these stripped logs where they belong and above the birch. No. Go ahead and put this dark oak back. And the spruce. And above the birch, we'll put these birch planks. Above the spruce, we'll put the spruce planks. And basically, our storage system is done for wood. We still need to go to the nether and get the 2 nether types of wood. We can add that onto the end of this system quite easily. Just remove that output chest. Add on your 2 sections. And then build out the hopper line to the new output chest. So, before I went to bed, I added another set of shelves. I don't know if I like that though. I may change that. I think it's too high. But we'll see. In the meantime, basically our storage is done. So there you have it. The beginnings of what will be a massive storage system when we have completed it. But for now, we can go ahead and use the sorter to sort out all of the woods that we have. I'm going to gather up wood from various other areas where I have it stashed and get it all tossed into this system. Then, off camera, I'm going to mine my entire tree farm back there behind the fishing shack and replant and go ahead and put the wood through the system as well, so that we've started to build a reserve for when we want to start building something. Now, next episode, we're going to the nether. I want to get the 2 types of nether wood and add them to the system. And I want to get some quartz as well, because the other thing we're going to do next episode is in this area, not on this side, but on the other side of where the storage system is. I want to at least build the base of a bamboo farm. Now, the design I'm using is modular. You can build levels, as many levels as you want, but I want to at least get the base level in so that bamboo is starting to be produced as well. That way, when we decide to start an auto smelter, we'll have the bamboo farm in place. Then we'll probably do some terraforming on the hill behind our enchantment setup so that we can start being ready to build our main house. Now see, this land back here needs a bit of terraforming before we can put in the bamboo farm. I also need to figure out where I want to put my cactus farm, because I do want to get that set up as well. Although I have to admit, the cactus being right there makes it fun when the drown try to come up. But still. And then we have to think of a design for the building that is going to go around this storage system when it is completed, which is not going to be for a while. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you have a lovely day, and we'll see you next time when we dive into the nether. Bye for now.